Are you letting them in?
You should do it, Peter. Or they may just be able to join. We'll see.
They're waiting. So do you want me to let them in?
Yes, please. You do that.
Admit all. Hello. Good morning and welcome everyone. My name is Peter Rodriguez Ponton, and I'm MDM Latin American director, and we are very glad and happy to have you here, ready to discover beautiful Belize and Guatemala today. That's going to be the order of the presentation. We will start with Belize. We will have a round of questions, and then we will have the presentation from Guatemala. I'm going to be the moderator today, so please, I really ask you to send your questions on our chat, and we will sort all the questions at the end of each presentation. So just ready to start, I would like to introduce you Carolina Briones, which is the General Secretary for the Central America Tourism Agency, CATA. So welcome, Carolina. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Peter, as you introduced me. My name is Carolina Briones. I am the Secretary General of the Central America Tourism Agency, CATA. I would like to thank all the wholesalers, travel agents, and the media representative from the US for your participation in these events, which we carry out with the support of the Taiwan government corporations. Today, we'll be presenting two great and beautiful destinations, Belize and Guatemala. Belize today is represented by Deborah Halgary. Hi, Deborah. I know that you will need a lot of time to present your beautiful country. She will be showing the best of Belize in a few minutes. And also Mariela Lopez from Guatemala will be talking about the culture and heritage of her country. So welcome Mariela again, and it's really nice to listen all you say about your beautiful country as well. Thank you again for joining us. I hope that today you may learn a little bit more about these beautiful regions made up by 7 countries in Central America: El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, Panama, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica, that complement each other with a diverse tourism products. So thank you once again, and please enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you want to learn a little bit more about the regions, please visit our website, visitcentroamerica.com. So Peter, thank you once again for all the organization, NTN, Latin American company, and we can start with the event.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Carolina. Thank you, thank you. Now we have a few words from Antonio Chen. He's the project advisor for SICA from the China and Taiwan government.
Greetings, dear participants. On behalf of the Taiwanese government, I would like to express our sincere congratulations to the Central American Tourism Agency, CATA, for organizing this magnificent event, especially for the post-pandemic era. Taiwan has been a long-term partner to the Central America for decades. We have the honor to sponsor various SICA projects in consolidating the regional tourism. According to statistics of the Secretariat of Central American Touristic Integration, (CITCA), in 2019, 43.1% of the tourists who visited Central America are from the US, which represents the most important market to this region. How to bring back the North American tourists in the post-pandemic future is an issue that we should work on with, and that's why we are here today. Central America and the Caribbean are regions with impressive biodiversity and a rich natural and cultural landscape, allowing all visitors to live unforgettable experience. I'm confident that you will enjoy your trip here. Once again, my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes. Thank you.
I think you're muted, Peter.
Thank you. And sorry about that. And just before I start with the presentation, we will have a few words from Mike Hernandez, the Communications and PR Officer from the Belize Tourism Board.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Peter, for affording me the opportunity to say a few words. I will be extremely brief since we have a detailed presentation on Belize coming up in a few. But first of all, let me offer warm greetings from the Honorable Anthony Mola, Minister of Tourism and Diaspora Relations. He sends his best wishes for what I am sure will be a very successful event. Not every day we have the honor of addressing a distinguished audience like this one present this morning, but we are extremely delighted to do so because the United States is and will continue to be Belize's primary source market for tourism. The US accounts over 75% of all overnight tourists visiting Belize. And so we are very grateful to CATA and MDM Digital for affording us the opportunity to tell you more about Belize, a country no longer considered to be a hidden secret in Central America. Belize is small in size, but huge in adventure, fun, relaxation, and natural wonders. Our culture, ancient Maya cities, our great blue hole, our mighty barrier reef, our sugar white sandy beaches, great cuisine, and friendly people all make Belize so unique, so intriguing, so enticing and the perfect vacation spot. Our sparse population density makes Belize the ideal natural destination for social distancing, while at the same time enjoying all other attractions and activities. In addition, the B2B has implemented its gold standard registration program, which guarantee the highest level of cleanliness and safety for our guests. The country has also obtained the World Travel Tourism Council stamp of approval, which categorizes Belize as a safe destination. Entering and visiting Belize is as easy as 1, 2, 3. I am sure my colleague Debbie Arana will certainly tell you more about this, so I will stop here. In closing though, I want to invite you to learn more about Belize. Please don't hesitate to ask if you need any further information or clarification on the innumerable attractions offered by our little piece of paradise we Belizeans refer to as the jewel. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. And now I'm ready to introduce you, Deborah Gilheri Arana, which is the Senior Travel Trade Officer at the Belize Tourism Board. Is part of the BTB team since 2011, and she led Belize's first virtual trade show in 2017, which received an accolade for innovation and creativity from the Latin American Travel Association from UK. And over the years, Debbie has provided interactive educational sessions to more than 6,000 travel advisors and tour operators. Her philosophy is, we are stronger together. So please, Deborah, you're more than welcome to start with your presentation.
Good morning, all. It's a pleasure to share with you the wonders of what Belize has to offer. So now, when it comes to Belize, there are two questions that we often get asked. Sorry, just trying to change my screen. It happens. You can see my screen, right? Okay, so there it is. So the two questions that we always get is, where is Belize and is it really an island? So Belize, it seems like an island because we have miles of beautiful beaches within our shores, and there are hundreds of tiny islands that we call keys. In reality, we are a tiny beach destination, which is tucked between the Mexican state of Quintana Roo on the north, and then there's Guatemala on the west and south, and then the Caribbean Sea on the east side of the country. Okay, so that's where you can see us in proximity to Mexico, Guatemala, and of course the United States. Now, what are some of the top experiences you can get when you come to Belize? Well, it's always a tough question when we're asked about what Belize has to offer, because there's just so much to offer, and it's one of the most diverse countries. Now, beyond our beautiful beaches and welcoming Belizean smiles, our natural scenery makes a visit here totally stand out. We have a huge network of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, brimming with exotic animals like the howler monkeys, the bright green iguanas, and over 500 species of birds. We even have the elusive jaguar. Now, when you arrive in Belize, you enter into a world of rich history, warm culture, hospitality, unrivaled adventure, and great fun and relaxation. And Belize is a unique tourism destination. Like its people, the attractions are exceptional and diverse. The country is home to the longest barrier reef in the Western Hemisphere, 3 of the 4 coral atolls found in the Caribbean, and we have an expanse of lush tropical rainforest. We have the only jaguar reserve in the world, numerous waterfalls, rivers, caves, and of course, white sand beaches. There are numerous ancient Maya cities dotted all over the country. So wherever you are, there will always be a Maya site nearby. And not many people know that Belize is a fairly young destination. We were once a British colony, and until we got our independence on September 21st, 1981, which is an achievement that we celebrate every September. Now, as the only country in Central America where English is the official language, Belize is a glowing melting pot of cultural ethnicity, history, and these are the backbone to our tourism industry. Activities range from hiking, nature trails, exploring underground caves, climbing the highest Maya temple, snorkeling in the blue waters along friendly sharks, deep sea diving or sports fishing, enjoying outstanding cuisine, and of course, the warmth of our people, to releasing high levels of adrenaline as you zip line at lightning speed over the canopy of the lush tropical rainforest. And even after a long day of fun, visitors can relax and enjoy a therapeutic session or activities. We have skilled healers or shamans that would use natural ingredients derived from our very own Belizean rainforest to allow visitors to unwind and be pampered. The meditative atmosphere is sure to nurture your health and well-being, leaving you refreshed and rejuvenated and splendid inside and out. Now, during and at the end of all the adventure or relaxation, visitors can experience our culture through our cuisine. The diversity of our culture magically infuses in our cuisine, so it makes Belize a foodie paradise. Farm to table and sustainability are at the forefront of many of the resort's core practices. And so guests can enjoy like wholesome and delightful food prepared with Belizean love. Some resorts even offer tours on site where guests could see how the food they consume, how those are produced. So now that you have an idea of what Belize is about, let's talk about what the journey is like visiting Belize during this pandemic. So in terms, on the screen, I have our COVID test requirements. And and so we just want to mention also that our airport is open, and our land and sea borders, they're open Monday, May 31st to international visitors who want to visit the country for recreational and vacation purposes. Now, the map that I have on screen depicts all our current direct flights. You can see that the airlines servicing Belize right now, we have American, Delta, Sun Country, which is seasonal, United, TAG, Tropicair, and now Copa Airlines is resuming their flights on Friday of this week. So we anticipate that other pre-COVID flight services will gradually return as the situation continues to normalize over the next 12 months. Now, here are a few things to keep in mind. Any traveler is permitted to visit Belize. However, the things that you must take into consideration is that when you plan your visit, the person entering, they're no longer required to download a health app. So you just come, you complete your customs and immigration form, and of course, international visitors must book at Gold Standard Hotel and present a confirmation at the immigration. And you can find a list of all these on our travelbelize.org/health-safety. We have the web link on the screen. That's where you can find a listing of all our more details of our COVID safety program, as well as the Gold Standard entities that you are to book with. Now, those entering Belize through land borders must book also at Gold Standard property. and have transportation arrive with a gold standard taxi or tour operator in order to enter Belize. Now, I highly encourage you. I don't want to go into details here because even as we speak, there are changes that are occurring as it relates to the entrance into Belize. So I highly encourage you to visit our website, the travelbelize.org /health safety, to find the most updated information, because that is something that is being worked on right now. Now, in terms of the COVID proof of vaccination, if you have a vaccination as I speak up to this point, if you have the COVID immunization card, you don't need to bring a COVID test. But again, that is going to change your discussions for that changing. So we encourage you to keep on the website. And of course, the COVID test would be required. The vaccination would be required at least 2 weeks prior to landing in Belize. Now, in reference to movement around the country, visitors can move around freely, but we highly encourage them to move with gold standard entities, whether it be a taxi, a gift shop, if they want to go to a restaurant. Look for those properties or companies or businesses that have the gold standard safety seal of approval. Okay. Wearing of masks, it's still an observance of social distancing. Those are mandatory in all public places. And you can also, like when you're departing the country, you can arrange to have your COVID test prior to leaving. We offer both PCR and rapid antigen tests. Again, on the website, you can find all that information. Okay. Now, we are very proud to share that in an acclaimed achievement, Belize has also been recognized by the World Travel and Tourism Council and is now one of 200 destinations using the Council's Safe Travel stamp, the world's first global safety and hygiene mark that indicates that a destination has adopted global standard or global standardized health and hygiene protocol. Before we leave, we just want to encourage you also to become a Belize specialist, because it's an excellent way to learn, gain practical information on the destination. And then we have the program in English and in Spanish. If you go to this website, you can find both English and Spanish versions up there. And of course, getting priority on a FAM is one of the major perks among being listed on our website and getting resources from us. Now, we have a Facebook group. We encourage you to become a part of the Belize Travel Advisors and Friends. And in closing, here are a few key takeaways. Belize has a naturally low population density, which naturally aligns it with the new social distancing protocols. We've never been a mass tourism destination with overcrowded beaches or local attractions. And with 99.6% of Belize's lodging facilities being small boutique accommodations, there is a low guest to staff ratio, which as a result, staff is able to offer guests more personalized service and attention. Belize is highly experiential. We have so much to offer in our culture, our heritage, culinary experiences, adventure, and health and wellness. There are no language barriers. I mean, we speak English and we also speak Spanish. There's easy and safe transportation. And then, of course, currency exchange is not an issue because there's 2 Belize dollars to 1 US dollars. Okay, and US dollars, it's widely accepted in the destination. And of course, we encourage you to keep visiting our travelbelize.org website or the Belize Tourism Board.org website for the latest updates on the COVID situation. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I was following your presentation, beautiful destination, and I was also, well, it's a time for questions. So I was checking our chat, and we don't have any questions yet, but you still have sometimes if you want to do if you want to ask something to Deborah or even Mike, which is still here with us. We have 50 participants at this moment. Thank you everyone for joining this Secret Central America presentation. Okay, so we don't have any questions yet, so I think we can keep going. So we're good on timing, and well, our next presentation will be from Guatemala. It's our second destination today, and let me introduce you, Mariela Lopez Piedrasanta, which is going to be our speaker. And Maria is the head of tourism segments for the Guatemala Tourism Board in GUAT. And Maria has a master's in international trade and customs administration. And she leads the promotion of Guatemala tourism products that are focused on a specific market niche. So if Mariela, it's ready.
All ready.
Okay, Mariela, let me start with your presentation.
Thank you so much. So, as Deborah was telling you, the Mayan culture was built and lived around several countries in Central America, Belize, and Honduras. But one of the main cities were established in Guatemala. One of these cities is Tikal. I'm sure you have heard of it. And Tikal has this very nice and very mysterious temples. One of them is known to be the tomb of one of the princes, Prince Ahcacao, and also known for being the door to the underworld. But don't you worry, this is not the entering to hell, it's just the entering to another world. So this is what Guatemala has to offer you. Welcome to Guatemala, heart of the Mayan world. My name is Mariela, and I am so pleased to be this day with you. So where is Guatemala, would you ask? Actually, we're closer than you will think. Similar to our country Belize, flying to Guatemala is very close. We have a direct flight from Miami for 2 hours and 45 minutes approximately. And also, if you're coming from the West Coast, Los Angeles, for example, we have also a direct flight, 5 hours, I believe, 4 hours and something. So we are very close to go. Next, please. Thank you. So a little bit about our country. Our official language is Spanish. We have 22 Mayan languages. We are very rich in multicultural area. And also we have 2 Xinca Garifuna cultures. Our currency is called El Quetzal, which is also our national bird. And the currency is more or less $1 per 7.90 quetzales. And this is very important for you to know, because this doesn't mean that we are a cheap destination, not at all. It means that you will have much things, better services for your investment. Also, if you didn't know about this, we are called the country of eternal spring. Why? Because even in rainy season, there are much things to do here in Guatemala. Next, please. So Guatemala has 30% of its territory declared protected areas. So this can give you an idea of all the nature we have in our country. We have 360 microclimates, and this is where the adventure comes, because we have 4 active volcanoes out of 37 that we have in our territory. Also, we have 720 bird species, which are, some of them are endemic, which means you can only see them in Guatemala. And we have this very, very specific element, which is the living Mayan culture. Next, please. So the living Mayan culture is living. This is what you are saying, Mariela? Yes, it's a living Mayan culture. Why? Because we have 22 ethnic groups of Mayan origin, and 40% of our population is indigenous and 60 is Ladino. So this means we can see the living Mayan culture in every board of our country. Next, please. So how do we get to Guatemala? We have 2 international airports. The Aurora International Airport, which is the one we all come when we come to Guatemala. And we also have the Petén Airport, which is located in Petén. Also, we have 5 aerodromes, which are a tool for us to move around the country more easily. Next, please. Also, for the cruises, let me tell you that Guatemala has been known for a new destination for cruises. Guatemala has about, on the last season, about 110 cruises that came to Guatemala. So people are asking for these trips to go and stay a little bit in Guatemala. Next, please. How do we move in Guatemala? So we are a very small country, but this helps for tourism to move around the country and get to know different regions. For example, you come to Guatemala and you land on Guatemala City, for example. But maybe you can move to, for example, Quetzaltenango, and then move around from for several different touristic places. Or you can fly all the way to Petén and then get to know Izabal, get to know a lot of archaeological sites. So we have like these little hubs around the country where you can move around and get to know more places in a short time. Next, please. It's important for me to tell you that we have 3 World Heritage named by UNESCO. The first one is La Antigua Guatemala, which I'm sure most of you have known. Also Tikal, National Park of Tikal, and the Archaeological Park of Quiriguá, each of them with the different kind of archaeological area. And of course, Antigua, it's a colonial city, which I will tell you more about. Next. Thank you. So what does Guatemala have to offer in touristic area? Next, please. Guatemala is the best place to travel. Why? Because we have 7 touristic regions, which offer different kind of activities, each one, starting with Guatemala, modern and colonial. So why is this modern but colonial? Next, please. We have the Guatemala City, which is very modern. And Guatemala, in fact, is the most cosmopolitan city in Central America, where you can find all sorts of hotel chains, museums, theaters, any kind of activity you want to do, Guatemala has it for you. But also 45 minutes from Guatemala City is, next please, Antigua, Guatemala. This colonial city has it all. You can do adventure, as you can see the great volcano behind the arc. You can see also gastronomy, which I will show you later. You can also do your weddings, destination weddings in Guatemala in these very unique venues, and also use these venues to for your meetings or your incentive travels. This technological and the traditional archaeological monuments combine and make your event totally unique. Next, please. Peter, please. Next one. Thank you. Next region is the Highlands. These regions is, can you go back one, please? Highlands is the region where you can find the most expression of the living Mayan culture. For example, you can see right now, it's a Mayan priest doing a ceremony, and this is a very real thing. You can experience this, for example, in Laguna Chicabal. This Laguna is a very mysterious destination. They pray for this, this Laguna because it is a sacred place for them. For example, we cannot enjoy and go inside the lagoon because it's a sacred place. So these kind of things you can see in this kind of region. Next, please. But also you can experience some other activities, for example, in Lake Atitlan, named one of the most beautiful lakes in the world. You can see that you can do some activities on water. You can do, for example, some yoga. You can do some meditation, because around this beautiful lake, we have 13 little towns, which also are named by the names of the apostles. It's a very curious thing, but each one has its own characteristics and personality. For example, there's this beautiful town where you can do some meditation and yoga. You can also check out the textiles. How do they paint the textiles? And all of them are obviously indigenous. So you are immersed in all the culture. Next, please. Also, it's Quetzaltenango, a very beautiful destination, very close to Solola also. And this destination has it all. It has gastronomy, it has nightlife, it has bars, restaurants, very beautiful tours, history, everything. It's a very, very beautiful destination that you cannot miss. Next, please. Verapaces, natural paradise. What can I say about this one? You can see it all in the picture. For example, we're looking at Semuc Champey. This destination is a kind of a river that has little pools that you can enjoy. And it's surrounded by this huge kind of nature. Next, please. What can you see in Verapaces? For example, you can see El Quetzal, our national bird, but also you can see most of the traveling birds. Guatemala is located in somehow being a bridge between North and South America. So this helps for us to have lots of traveling birds around, and some stay here in Guatemala. So this helps to do great bird watching in Guatemala. Next, please. Also, for those who like adventure, we have rafting. And this is one of the activities that we can do even in rainy season, because it's better for this activity. This is totally a safe activity. You can also hire a tour operator and ask for them to give you this kind of tour. And it's totally, totally fun and safe, but it's directly for those who like adventure. Next, please. Petén, adventure in the Mayan world. Next, please. This region is the home of the Mayan culture. As you can see in the picture, you can enjoy all the history, all the knowledge, all the activities of one of the most important cultures in the human history. Why do I say most important of the human history? Next, please. Did you know that in Guatemala is the most, let me see, the bigger statue in the world regarding volume? So it's in Guatemala, it's called La Danta. La Danta is a very big pyramid which has this very big base. And as you can see on the image, it's compared with the Egyptian pyramids, and you can see the difference of the size. So that is why this is the most tall and big in the world. Next, please. You can also have some investigation. You know, you can do some research here and find out how did the Mayan work. For example, you can see this hieroglyphics, and you can see how they adore and they took care of water. For example, this little man is somehow swimming, and all around them is sort of a vegetable. So it's very unique and very mysterious, all of these hieroglyphics that you can find in El Mirador in Petén. Next, please. You can also see some other cities like Yaksha, archaeological site. This is the most taken care of secret of the Mayan culture. It has this incredible view to the Yaksha Lake, and this has very unique pyramids. For example, it has one that it's similar from one corner to another one. And this is very curious because why would they do two same pyramids in the same place, right? So these are the things that you can find in Guatemala. Next, please. Izabal is a great Caribbean region where you can find, for example, this Castillo de San Felipe. It's a very historic place. Next, please. But also you can find our white sand beaches. This is the only place where you can find them because the rest of our beaches are from dark sand, volcanic sand, which is very good for the skin. But you can see that we also have white sand beaches. Next, please. Also, we have the next region that is the Pacific one. Next, please. This one is what I like to call the fun region because we have, for example, sport fishing. Guatemala is known for being one of the capitals of the sport fishing since we have several records, international records for catch and release for the marlin fish. Next one, we can also do some surf. Next, please, Peter. Thank you. We can also do some surfing in Monterrico Beach and some fun at the theme parks. We have 3 international theme parks. One dedicated to activities in water, the other one activities at land, and the other one activities in nature. This is the last one that we have, the most new one, and you can enjoy several activities in them. They have several international prizes, so you cannot miss anything from this one, from theme parks, from the ones in other countries. Next, please. The next region is a very unique one. Has it changed? Thank you. It's a very religious, for the ones that like most to know more about history, more about the religious tourism. This is Esquipulas, and where we have the Black Christ. Next, please. This is a international destination for the Catholic religion. Very few people come to Guatemala to enjoy visiting this Black Christ, and also several destinations around the Esquipulas. For example, the next one, please. Has it changed already? Thank you. For example, Ipala volcano. So you're gonna ask me, Mariela, you're saying that it's a volcano, but we're looking at this beautiful lagoon. Well, it's both. This lagoon is on top of our volcano. So this is a very beautiful destination that you can enjoy. There's a Mayan history of this destination. It's been said that this lagoon was hiding from people that didn't take good care of her. So she went up to hide on top of the volcano, and there she is. It's a very unique destination. It's a whole volcano, but it has this great lagoon on top. Next one, please. Unique experience. What can you do in Guatemala? Specifically, next, please. You can do lots of tours, lots of activities for very specific niche. For example, gastronomy. You can find different gastronomy in each of the 7 regions. For example, if you go to Izabal, you will taste the el tapado, this sort of soup. And if you move, for example, to Verapaz, you can enjoy another kind of dish. But if you can come to Guatemala, for example, on specific dates, you could enjoy, for example, el fiambre, which is the one down on the right side. It's called el fiambre, and it's served only on the 1st of November. Also, on top of from the left side, we can find las enchiladas. This dish is made, for example, on Holy Week, which I bet you all know about Guatemala's Holy Week. And we have also other kind of dishes that you will enjoy here in Guatemala. Next, please. You can do, for example, the destination weddings. We have these great and unique venues. Also the meetings and incentives, which I was mentioning you. And do some adventure, for example, volcano climbing. And you can do some cooking on top of the volcano. How would you do that, Mariela? Okay, so you can cook, for example, your pizza with the lava that's coming down. Of course, you can do this you have to do this with a tour operator and a special guide. So it's gonna be a very safe activity, but also you can cook your marshmallows. So it's great for those who get hungry on top of the volcano after a very long trip going up. Or you can do some other activities on Lake Atitlan, for example. Next, please. All other activities you can do is learn Spanish. In Guatemala, we have this special kind of method, one-to-one, and also sports. Guatemala is being known for a very beautiful destination for triathlons. Next, please. Volunteering, health and wellness. We have these great professionals, no waiting list, and some bird watching also. Next, please. Also, it's very important for you to know that we have a touristic program assistance. This program is focused on attending the touristic groups or individuals that come to Guatemala to attend any kind of help that you want. For example, if someone loses its passport, if you want company along the road, if you get lost on the road, or if you want to know more about Guatemala, what you can do in Guatemala. We have this great program, which can assist you in any kind of activity. Next, please. Also, how is Guatemala doing with the dealing with the COVID-19? Well, Guatemala, the tourism board made this tourism biosafety seal, which helps companies to prepare themselves and apply to the safe travel seal from the World Travel and Tourism Council. We also made some guides documents for companies to get ready. And how can you come into Guatemala? First of all people have to apply for the antigen and PCR test within 96 hours in advance. Also present the vaccine certificate if you have been vaccinated, or if you're a covered patient, just present your medical certification. And if you come to Guatemala and you have not been vaccinated, you can pay $25 to make the test in Guatemala, and then you can come in. Next, please. So this is Guatemala. We thank you so much for your time. And on behalf of my General Director, Minor Cordon, we thank you for your time and for your attentions. So welcome to Guatemala.
Thank you, Mariela. Nice presentation, beautiful destination. And one more time, we are going with the questions, but we have a couple of questions from the previous presentation from Belize. So I will ask Debbie to be ready to reply these questions. Okay, so the first one is what is the Facebook address, please?
Facebook, it's facebook.com/ it's Travel Advisors and Friends, Belize Travel Advisors and Friends. Okay, so if you Google if you search Belize Travel Advisors and Friends, we could do that. I'll share it right here. Let me just share it in the chat.
Please, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, the second question is for Ali Allen, and she say, how long is the typical stay in Belize?
Typically, people like to stay in Belize maybe 7 nights on average. It could be a little less, a little more, but that's on average 7 nights. And they like to do the combination of rainforest or jungle and the beach.
Okay. And Erica Grad says, what areas of study will be best for a group of university students waiting to travel to Belize?
Yes, so I just wanted a little more clarification on the question. So because Belize is so diverse, we have a lot of educational centers. So it all depends on the interest of the group, but we can definitely discuss that in more details. And I've left my email address in the chat box, so we could talk more about that. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And then from Judy Fawcett, she said, what about flights from Canada?
Flights from Canada. So pre-COVID, we had flights from on WestJet and Air Canada, but right now, of course, with all the borders closed from Canada, we don't have any direct flights at the moment, but we are working towards having those flights, hopefully reinstated. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And then from Susan Foster, how long would you suggest for a family vacation? How can we book internal flights?
Oh, okay. So the domestic flights, those you could book those with tropicair.com or Maya Island Air. Those are the two domestic airlines that you can book. They travel, they service all over the country. Again, typically family vacation, depending on the needs, on the interest, it could range from 5 to 7 nights or more.
Or more. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. Now we're going with questions about Guatemala. So Mariela, please be ready. Susan Foster, would you suggest hiring a car or having a private driver in Guatemala?
Both would work perfectly, but we would suggest mainly if you rent a car individually, get information from a tour operator so you can get to know where to go and don't get so you won't get lost on the trip. But basically both of them are totally great to go by land in Guatemala.
Okay, and then Ali Allen, how safe it is in Guatemala, especially in the small beach towns?
Actually, it's pretty safe in Guatemala. Guatemala is no different than any other country around the world. Obviously, every country has this kind of different sections where tourism does not go. For example, if you go to United States, maybe there are some areas where tourists won't visit. The same thing is in Guatemala, but in little towns, this it's very safe. And if you still need some assistance, we have the touristic assistant program. You can ask for a companion and for directions where to go and where not to go.
Okay. And last question we have from Christine Debacker. Wanted to clarify regarding entry into Guatemala. Can they do a test upon arrival? And can arrangements be made for the test to come home?
Actually, yes, you can do some tests here in Guatemala for the COVID-19. And if not, you can present your vaccine certificate.
Okay. So those were all the questions. Now let me introduce you our VP of Marketing, Danielle Vasquez from MDM, who's going to let you know a little bit about our fam trips for early 2022.
Hi, everyone, and thanks again, Peter, for the introduction. And again, thanks for everyone for being here on the call with us today. Hopefully you found the material from Debbie and Mariela super educational, and hopefully again, introducing the destination of Guatemala and Belize. As Peter said, we are planning, as vaccination continues to improve and all the rates of vaccination increasing, and also looking ahead of 2022, we are starting to plan some fam trips in likely January and February 2022. So if you go to the next slide, Peter, and hopefully you get the flavor of this today, and hopefully you'll be able to join us tomorrow. Central America is a very small, from a land perspective, geographic area. So we're trying to present this idea of a multi-destination. So today, hopefully you got the idea of being able to travel between Belize and Guatemala, and tomorrow you get the same flavor from Honduras and Nicaragua. So for those of you that have been to Europe, as an example, if you can kind of put yourself back in that trip in Europe, usually you can travel from one country to the next fairly easy. In Central America is no different. Within a couple hours drive, you can find yourself in another country, completely different culture, completely different experience. And that's what we're trying to do. So as we look ahead to the FAMs, the idea will be that it will be a multi-destination FAM, Belize, Guatemala combined, and then Honduras and Nicaragua as the other FAM trip. So if you go to the next page, next slide, Peter. So go to the next one. What we also wanted to leave you with, and I think some of you were asking for resources also. There are some resources here on the screen that we're hoping that you're able to take away. We will share the deck, the presentation after this call. But again, the main website for the multi-destination presentation of Central America is secretcentralamerica.com, as you see on the screen. And we have all the social media handles as well, both on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, where we normally are sharing news about, as Debbie was saying, the borders are opening, new flights are coming back on board. So all that info will be shared on Twitter. But if you're looking again for inspiration around content, product ideas, both Facebook and Instagram, as you see on the screen, are constantly having weekly content on new products and new experiences. And as well, we'll share the contact information from Mariela and Debbie, where you'll be able to follow up and get more product information about both destinations. But again, thanks again for joining. And we're hoping that you're able to join us again tomorrow for Honduras and Nicaragua. So if you go to the next slide, Peter, I think that's the end of the presentation. I'll open it up one last time for questions before we close the session. If not, we'll see everyone again tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, everyone. You have all our contact information. Let us know if you have any questions. To Deborah, to Mariela Lopez, or from our colleagues in CATA and here at NDM. Thank you, everyone. Have a safe travels soon.